Yes. What up? It's your boy PriceDaBoss. And we got a legend in the building. For those who don't know, we got Mr. Choclair in the building. What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, man. I got a quick question off the rip. What could people expect when they come to a Choclair show?
Man, you're gonna see like lots of energy, a lot of songs that you guys might be like, oh shoot, I forgot about that one, because people know the pop out ones, but like some of the ones that you just hear in the back sometimes, you're gonna be like, oh man, I forgot. Oh, that was him. Just a lot of energy, a lot of good hip hop energy, and great people to be around, and just a positive atmosphere, just good vibes.
That's what's up. Because I remember just being one of the many people in Toronto, just watching you in that video, Let's Ride, with yourself and Socrates. And I actually want to know, where did you guys film that?
We shot that actually all over the place downtown, but we were also at Sherbourne and Bloor there. We were at Wellesley Street downtown. We were in Scarborough.
Okay. Shout out to the east.
Yeah, we went all over the place, yeah.
Y'all took a real ride, eh?
Yeah, it took a real ride. It took 2 days to do it. It was great. And that was all over the place. Tried to represent as far as we could go. We couldn't go everywhere because back then it was still big equipment to do music videos.
And I was just about to mention that. You had to make sure there was a budget behind it. I'm sure you guys are probably using film compared to digital, right? So that means that you really had to, I'm guessing you really had to make sure you knew what you were doing compared to just being able to film something and just doing it again. What do you think is the difference between how artists are approaching the music now compared to back then?
Well, one of the great things now with technology and stuff, it's there's not as many hurdles as before. So there's a lot of tools to utilize compared to when I was coming up and doing it, where we were shipping out records and this you actually had to go to the interview, do an interview tour, you just to go and do radio all over the place, and stuff. But but it's good though. It's good because it's good to see how it evolves, and and then it's the way that the tools that are there and the people that are using them now, it's good to see that these things, and the fact that they make it available, keeping hip hop in mind when these programs come out as well, stuff that hip hop guys will do. So also shows the impact that the people from doing hip hop back in the days to technology up into today, it's you see people keep those things in mind.
Exactly, because I just remember as a hip hop artist, because I'm an 80s baby, so I just know when it came to certain things, even when it comes to Project Bounce or certain type of radio shows and whatnot, even when artists were in the studio, you had to kind of be a guy to be in the studio when someone like yourself is in the studio or something. It's an honor to be in the studio, I'm guessing, when, you know what I mean? But nowadays, like you said, it's different. Somebody could do a record and not even feel that experience with the artist though, you know what I mean? So I feel there's a little disconnect sometimes when it comes to working with someone that you idolize, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, because it's just now, it's just email me the stems and stuff like that,
right?
Whichever. So yeah, you don't get that sitting in the studio kind of vibing with each other type thing,
I guess it's the pros and the cons, right? So
yeah, for sure.
And I want to ask you a question because I was just actually featured on a record that had a lot of Toronto artists on it, also featuring Snoop Dogg, and I know you're on a big record featuring a lot of Canadian artists. I want to know, what's the pros and cons of having so many artists on a record?
Oh man, well, I guess it could depend on the artists and the artists themselves, because you could have a song like Triumph from Wu-Tang and still have, I don't know how many was on there, 9 or 11 or something like that. You could have and everybody it's all dope, right?
Yeah.
But then you can have a song where there could only be maybe 4 people on the record, including yourself. But then you get lost in certain elements of the song, the person that comes in, he comes in hard, right?
Yeah.
And then if you're the third person, you're
I hope people are listening by the time my verse gets on.
Yeah, or they hope you don't get mixed out, right? Because they start blending music at about I think at about a minute 50 or something,
right?
Like that or whatever, right? So but the pros is that you're on a song with all these people, and then when you're in the studio session, sessions, like when you're actually sitting there with them, you're learning off of everybody how they get themselves ready, you know,
Yes,
and
yes.
how, you know, like it's just, I guess when you just say, if you put Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Slash, you know, and someone else in a, you know, and they're just having a jam session.
Yeah.
You know, imagine, and you're in that jam, imagine how much you would learn from those guys, you know, like,
Exactly.
so that's the best thing about doing collaborations, but definitely when you're all doing it together.
So when you made this big collabo that everyone knows, y'all know the record. You gotta rap it with me. Can y'all rap it with me though? You know. You ain't gonna do it. You guys are shy right now. Exactly. There we go. Everyone knows the record, right? So one thing you mentioned was it's very important when everybody's kind of in the studio, because then you got to learn from this person, learn from that person. Were you guys blessed to be in the studio at the same time when it came to this record?
When the only parts where we were all in the same studio was when it was me, Thrust, and Cardi, because they sent the 2-inch tape. Actually, they sent the 2-inch tape from Vancouver to Toronto, and the Rascals part was already on it, and Checkmate's part was already on it. And so we went to the studio. We all went to the studio, and everybody wanted to be last. At this point, everybody wanted to be.
Was it friendly competition with everybody?
Well, the Rascals were first on the tape. They were already first. Checkmate was third. So me and Thrust were sitting in the studio trying to figure out who was going last, because everybody wanted to go last, right?
Yeah.
So we did paper, rock, scissors. I lost, so I went second. That's how we picked out the order. And then,
right?
Like literally, and then Cardi was sitting there listening to me just mumbling around a bunch of words and stuff like that. And then he came up with the hook, and then that's how that came together. But the hook and the fact that me and Thrust, the positions that we were in, never would have happened if we weren't sitting in the studio at the same time, at least doing that part of the song.
So basically what you're saying is, if it was one of those ones where, like, back then there was no such thing as an email the song and you're this, you're that. No. It's like you had to, like, that's why I asked if it was friendly competition, because nowadays it's like, you want to get on the beginning of the song because you don't know if the ending of the song's gonna get played. But now it's like, back then it's like you want to get on the end of it, because when you're at the end of it, you know how it goes. It's like, Lil Wayne's on a tour, you know Lil Wayne's gonna be last, you know, like everyone knows how it goes. So
you know what it was? It was the Busta Rhymes scenario. Everybody wanted that as I combined, you know? They all wanted that. And everybody felt they were that anchor. So everybody wanted that last line. So yeah, we did paper, rock, scissors at last. And Cardi was in there, came up with the hook. And yeah, just to that point, it's like when you're in the studio, that's what happens. Like the creative magic happened. Because if we just sent it out, like you're going to say emailing and stuff, which wasn't around then.
Yes.
Someone would have said like, I might put him second and switch this one over.
And it wouldn't have been the same. Wouldn't have been the same.
And it wouldn't have been the same.
And we wouldn't be able to do this interview and find out how Choclair got his spot on the song.
Well, the circle kind of just started. I had a friend, Ramon, in my school. I went to Pope John Paul in Scarborough there. So my friend Ramon knew Sox. And Sox around that time, like 92, 93, I think it was, he had a song called Still Caught Up on one side. And I think it was Tuesday on the other from Eugene from Play the Record. It was on Steppin' Bigger Records. So this is like 93 and stuff like that. So Ramon introduced me to Sox. And at that time, we were just like, yeah, you know, you do rap, we do rap. It was new, and we were both like young, and we were both doing rap and stuff like that from the same side, from Scarborough.
Right.
And so at first it was like a transactional thing. It was like I just get, I pay for beats and stuff like that and whatever, and we go down to the studio. But then we both lived out in Scarborough and stuff, so we would, we'd give each other a ride instead of like both taking separate cars. We just pick each other up, and we just started building a relationship with that. Just going to the studio all the time. If he needed a ride to the studio, I'd give him a ride up. Started with the carpool, and then it was just stuff going on. And then through that, I met through Cardi and Y-Look and Solitaire and everybody else, Anthem, Marvel, and then I was with Ro, because me and Ro Dollar went to the same high school, and so it was me, Sox, and Ro that were from Scarborough, and then Solitaire and all those guys were all from Uptown and West End.
Right.
So, and we were with this crew called Paranormal that used to have intricate breakdancers that always used to go and battle Bag of Tricks back in the day. So they were in my crew, Paranormal, and Bag of Tricks were just west, and they were kind of like around. They knew Socks and those guys. I mean, Cardi and those guys. So we were just friends. So we just were like, every time we go to the studio with each other, there was no like setup session. It was like, I'm going to the studio. You want to come? So then it'll be like me and Wylook in the studio. You want to? So it was just like that. But we just became a circle of friends. So we just called ourselves the Circle, and we just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Any, I'll say Kevin Garnett at the championship. Anything is possible.
Anything. Did you know that Boston was gonna win? Who were you betting on? Who were you betting on when it came to the finals? Do you think Boston was gonna win?
Yeah, I would tell you a very true story. Whenever any Toronto team jump or fail out of a playoff, my mind is not on it anymore. I'm a Toronto team.
Canadian hip hop, North American hip hop. Do you know this?
I know I had a part in.
Man, I don't want to hear that. I gotta give you your rose.
I know that chisel of the chisel.
Well, that's probably just you being humble. But man, just you hear that one? Jeez, the chiz knock. Listen, I'm telling you right now, as a youngin, sitting there watching Channel 29 and seeing the videos, I'm telling you, it's a different feeling. Cause like you said, you should know just being an artist, being those times being in the studio with somebody how it feels. So just imagine me being a youngin watching it, just watching Master T and everybody do their thing, and it's like I'm seeing it as motivation. So as I'm doing my thing right now, I have to look at what you guys did and the right things you guys did and how we could push the culture forward, and that leading up to me giving you your roses. And don't let anybody tell you you're just a part of it. Are you crazy? Because if it wasn't for you guys, before YouTube was popping, you have to understand that you guys are the soldier boys of this, eh? Don't make no one tell you guys nothing, man. You guys deserve there has to be a hip hop council, there has to be something, and if anyone's gonna do it, trust me, I'm gonna make sure I do that. You guys deserve your flowers, man. Cheers, knock. You already know, man.
Respect, bro. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much, man.
No doubt. If there's a song that we could go to right now before we let you go, what song could we get to?
All right, man. Here's one song. Some of y'all might know it, and if you haven't heard it, you're definitely gonna love it. This is the one and only Choclair, Socrates, Old Dirty Bastard, Suave Dirt Dogs.
Yeah, I know. MVP Radio Show 102.7 FM.
If y'all ready to roll with me, know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta obey Dirt Dogs, straight up. It's like that. What, nigga? I'ma find it attractive.